Hey everyone, welcome to Two Car Pros. My name's Ryan, and today I'm going to show you exactly how to replace the taillight lens and all of the rear light bulbs for a 2024 Toyota Tacoma. Now, our Toyota Tacoma is a TRD. I know there's quite a few different trim levels for this truck over the years, and you just have to be really careful which lens you're going to use. I'm pretty sure all the bulbs are the same, but the lens differs per trim level, so that's just something to kind of keep in mind if you're going to replace the lens. Now, in this video, as you'll see, I did replace the lens just because it had sustained a little bit of damage, and you have to take the lens out to get to the bulbs anyway, so I figure I'll just do kind of two videos in one, and this is how to do the lens and the bulbs. So to replace any one of the bulbs, you have to take the lens out anyway, so I might as well just do this video all in one. This is extremely easy. This is something you should totally be doing in your garage, driveway, parking lot, whatever, and saving all kinds of money because if you take it to anybody, they're going to charge you hundreds of dollars to do this, and this is the most easy thing possible. So with all that out of the way, let's jump in. First step's pretty easy. Just open the tailgate. The next thing we're going to do is remove this bolt and this bolt. I know there's 4 bolts here, but the only 2 that actually go into the lens assembly is this one and this one. They're 10mm, and just remove them. Then on our lens, and I know yours is probably going to look a little different, this one has sustained some damage, so it's not all nice and minty fresh. Yours probably doesn't look like this. What we can do is just grab the lens itself and pull straight towards you. You don't want to like do this in like a seesaw action. What you want to do is just, well, this one just fell out for me, but there's 2 little tangs that hold into the body, and so we just pull straight toward us, and that sort of gets them out of their home. So what you can do next is just unplug the entire taillight assembly. I've always found that's a little bit easier. Alternatively, you could just remove the light bulbs like this and get to them that way. It's totally possible to do that, but in the future, when these trucks have aged, you have a really good chance of ruining the wiring. So what I do is I just unplug it. There we go. I just do that for all of them, so that way I can take the whole lens assembly over to my workbench, and it's a little bit easier, I've found. And again, this one has been through some damage, so you're really not going to see yours like that. Another good reason just to kind of unplug them. And you can't plug them in wrong, so don't worry about that. They only go in the one way. There we go. Take this out of its little holder. And there we go, we can just get the entire lens assembly out of there. So let's just go ahead and remove our sockets. You just rotate them counterclockwise, and you can just remove that. With the turn signal out, we can go ahead and remove the main taillight / brake light. And again, this one has been damaged, so it's a little tricky for me to get out. Normally, you just rotate them to the left and they come out. They only come out just the one way. So this whole socket actually needs to be replaced, but you probably won't have that problem. And then we can do the same thing for our reversing lights and just remove them. So the turn signal light and the brake light actually share the same bulb, and it's this one made by Philips, and it is 7443CP, and I'll leave a link down below in the description to that. And all you do is you just pull it out of the assembly, take one out of the box. Notice I'm wearing gloves, by the way. I would always wear gloves. And then just put it in. And there's really no wrong way to put it in. It goes in either way and just slides in just like that. Do the same thing for the actual brake light. For the reversing light, this is your part number, Philips 921CP. Again, link down below in the description. And again, wearing gloves. We just do the exact same thing. Pop the bulb out. And then put the new one in. Just orientate it so it will fit until you hear that nice sound. And there you go. We can put those back in the housing, put the taillight back in the truck. And here's our replacement part. It's made by TYC. Our part number is 11-9323-80-9. And you'll notice on the tag here that it says R, and it's pointing that way. Basically what that means is it's for the right-hand side of the vehicle, and in automotive, it is relative to where the driver's position is in North America, which is on the left. So we're replacing the passenger lens. Buy the right one. If you need the driver's side lens, buy the one that says L. I'll leave a link down below in the description to both of them for this truck. And I noticed that there's a ton of different versions of lamps for this truck. This should be the right one because it says limited on the tag. I'm hoping it's correct. Really easy way to find out. Just open it and look at it. Oh, it's really nice. That's a pretty decent aftermarket product. Okay, I'm happy with that. Yep, that's the one. I can just tell by looking at it. So I'm actually replacing my entire lens. As you saw, it was damaged. So what I'm going to do is take my socket that has been loaded up with a bulb and put it in there. And you'll notice that the receiver has little timers in there, so you can't actually put one in wrong. They only go in the one way. So we'll start with the turn indicator, wait for it to kind of sink down into its housing, and then rotate clockwise. Just like that. Sometimes they make a sound, sometimes they don't. And then for the actual main brake light, again, it only goes in the one way, so just rotate it until it drops down. Continue to rotate it until it locks into place like that. Very nice. And then we can do the same thing for the reversing light. Excellent, it's ready to go in the truck. So on the taillight, you might have noticed these little silver prongs here, and those go into plastic holders here and here. This one is missing due to that impact it had sustained, so you kind of aim the taillight for that. Before we do that though, let's go ahead and plug it back in. This is super simple. Just push them on until they make a nice click. There we go. Make sure the thing is sitting in, the little wires are sitting in their little homes, right there and there. We should be good. Line up those little prongs and just go straight back. Ideally, I would replace the one that's missing, but we're kind of pressed for time today. Like that. Make sure it lines up. And the way you can tell, by the way, that this is lined up is on the back side, the bolt holes will line up. With our tail light all lined up, we can just line up the bolt holes, making sure it's in their home. Just get them started, and then kind of hover where it's going to be. You can see there's a little bit of fine adjustment one way or the other. I think that that looks pretty good right there. And about that tight. If you're looking for a torque spec, I would just say wrist tight. I don't really have one for you. And then before we go anywhere or send the truck out or whatever, make sure that the turn signal, brake light, tail light, and reversing lights work. Reverse light works. Brake light works. Running light works, and then turn signal. All right, we're ready to roll. So that's how to replace your rear lens on your 2024 Tacoma, including your brake light bulb, tail light, reversing light, and turn signal bulb. Like I said earlier, this is super, super easy, something you can totally do in basically any situation with essentially one tool. If you found this video helpful at all, please consider becoming a member down below. It's a way to help the channel out directly. But if you can't do that, please consider subscribing or liking the video. It really helps the channel out. Thank you so very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.